Hi everyone, and welcome to this video about the song Winds Blowing from Nai-Jah.
Winds blowing and hey yo, the winds blowing. Bell shrinking.
So in this video I'm going to go through the creative process of bassline, and I'm going to talk about the three basslines from this song. The first from the chorus, the second from the verse, and the third from the outro.
Winds blowing and hey yo, the winds blowing. Bell shrinking and hey yo, the time's coming. The winds blowing and hey yo, the winds blowing. Bell shrinking and hey yo, the time's coming.
So the main role of this bassline is to support the lead singing. So the lead singing has this pickup E, G, A, so that I can be with the lead singing, be together with him, and like a unisono. And for me, it really made sense to do this. You can see that I am variating a bit. I'm doing some variations. I didn't want to do too many variations because otherwise it would have been out of the style. But sometimes I play the A below, so I octave the A so that I can have more bass, I can support the band, I can support the lead singing. And sometimes instead of playing E, G, I play C, B. And you can see that it doesn't change a lot, it's just a small variation, and it gives depth, and it's discrete, it's working. Also you can hear that you have E, G, A, but I don't play only this A. I play also this small rhythmic figure like E, G, A, E, A, E, A, E. And the idea of this small motif was to, well, it was a trio. There was drum, guitar, sousaphone, and vocals. And there wasn't a keyboard to fill all these upbeats, you know, these smaller boom, 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 boom. And I felt sometimes it was missing, and I felt it was my responsibility to fill those holes. You know, there is some space here, and I thought I could use this space to groove with the drum. Also, there is a purpose in playing 8 notes. You see, if I was playing only E, G, A, there wouldn't have been any 8 notes in the bass line. And I needed this to phrase with 8 notes sometimes to be with the drum. You know, the drum is playing a beat, an even 8 beat. You can hear it on the hi-hat. And sometimes, well, there are some triplets figures, but it's mainly even 8. And I need to groove with the drum. I need to be with a drum beat. So I needed somehow at somewhere 8 notes. So also this bass line has a melodic purpose. It's going from E to E. So it's going to low E, E, G, A, E, A, E, A, E, and it ends on E. So it has a direction, and that's very important in a bass line to have a direction. It's not going anywhere. It's going upward.
Children tell me why we feel so tired. Looked up in a prison, up in a me.
On the verse, I play something way more simple. The idea is to have a contrast with the chorus. So just A. The idea is to elude the first beat, because on the chorus the first beat is very emphasized. So on the verse, the idea was to do the opposite. It was to not to play on the first beat, and to emphasize also the third beat. And you see that the lead singing is also starting on the third beat of the bar. So it's still supporting the vocal, and that was the idea: support the vocal and respect the harmony and everything, but be with the vocal. And you can see that I'm also kind of playing pedal point. I'm playing this A. The idea was to give some change with the harmony, and I'm going to talk about harmony later. But this is why you have this kind of pedal point. And there's kind of a second bass line where the verse has two parts. On the second part, I try to expand my playing to the high register. I still play this pedal point, but I also play something in the middle high register.
Money made you round. I go around amazing grace, but I haven't been found. Open up my heart singing this song. The time has come.
And I did this because there was some space there. There's no, the vocal is a bit higher. There was some space that I could use, and I thought, why not use it? You know, you don't have a keyboard that would play there. So I still play this pedal point, and I played this small phrase, and the idea was to use space, make space. So you can hear at the end of the verse, and you can see it on the score too. At the end of the verse, there are 6 bars. So we're kind of breaking the form, and we're creating a kind of a surprise. And I use also this moment to play a pedal point on E, to make change in the harmony and to make the listener expect something. So there are 2 things. First is that to change the form, it's not only 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. It's like 4, 4, 4, 6. And also playing a pedal point in E. So about the harmony of the song is very simple. It's A minor, G major, and it was given. You know, the guitar player wasn't going to change anything. So I thought maybe I could do something more with that. Maybe try to expand it, or try to find some way to expand it, make it maybe more interesting, or maybe not interesting, but maybe making more tension, creating some tension at some point, and some depth, maybe create some depth in the song. And this is what I did with 2 techniques. I mean, I could have asked the guitar player to change his chords or to reharmonize the song, but it wasn't the idea. The idea was to stay simple. So I used two techniques as a bass player. The first one is using pedal points. So you can see that in the verse I use a pedal point in A and sometimes a pedal point in E. And there are 2 purposes of pedal points. Whether one is to change the harmony, because if you have A minor over A and then G over A is something different. Or if you have A minor over E and then G over E becomes a E minor 7, for example. And the second purpose of a pedal point is to create a tension. You hear this pedal point and you expect something. You're like, okay, something is going to happen. So it makes it more interesting. The second technique was to change the pedal tone, so change the root. So you have a minor. If I play A as a bass player, you have a minor, right? It's simple. If you play A minor, if you have a minor and I play F below it, it's not A minor anymore, it's a F major 7. If I play, I don't know, D, for example, it's going to be a D7 sus4. So this is what I did on the outro, and well, you're gonna see in the outro something is changing, something is happening, the groove is a bit different, but about the harmony I play completely different roots notes, but the guitar is still playing the same. It's still the same chords.
Burning, burning, that's what they will get. Coming, coming, we will never forget. Running, running, is this your contest? You know one day the truth shall step. Burning, burning, what they will
So still about the harmony, you have A minor over A, and then you have A minor over C, and then it's changing. So you also have this displacement. And well, I'm going to talk about this displacement now. So this bass line on the outro has rhythmic displacement. And because of this group of 3/4 notes, you have the impression that something displaces itself. But after 4 bars, the bass line starts all over, and it is a small displacement. you could have a smaller displacement, bigger displacement, but this one is over 4 bars. And not only you have this displacement, but you have also new root notes. So you don't have the harmony is changing, you don't have A minor and G, but you have something that is happening, something new is happening. So it makes it a bit more complicated, but because the bass line was very simple in the chorus and the verse, I thought I could allow myself to do this. It has maybe some jazz influences, or it's not purely reggae style, but it kind of worked. I remember the drummer said, well, you don't have anything more complicated, maybe? Like, meaning that's way too complicated, please play something simple. But actually we kept this idea, we kept it, and for me it was really fun to play this displacement. And you can hear that at the end of the song the drummer is also praising with me. The bass line at the outro has also a melodic motif. So if you see A, C, D, F, E, G, it's actually very simple. It's only minor third, minor third, minor third. So it's going through all the possible minor third of A minor. So it's something kind of obvious, it's really easy to memorize. So even if it sounds complicated, the idea, the ground idea of it is very simple. And you can hear that I'm trying to phrase, also I put it on the score, I'm trying to emphasize the first and the fourth 8th notes. And the idea was to give more depth in the groove. Maybe now I would play it differently, I would play it maybe more even, because now when I listen to it, I think I have the feeling it's a bit too much. But yeah, that's the way I played it, that's the way I phrased it. And yeah, it's working. I think now I would play it more even.
Waiting for a time there will be no regret. You know one day the truth of burning.
So this is all for this video. This is all for this song Winds Blowing. You can find the song and the whole album on YouTube. You can find it on SoundCloud. Well, I was trying to explain a bit these 3 different bass lines, the bass line on the chorus, the bass line on the verse, and the bass line on the outro. And I composed them, I created them, taking into account harmony, melody, taking into account the lead vocal, the drum beat, and trying to fit to the vibe of the song. Well, this is all, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can write it in the comment. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!